Shabbos hagadol. What is it for the world? What is it historically? And what is it for me? You, me, each of us personally. Welcome to Growing with the Lilies. This is sort of the best. So, when we're in the hours before Shabbos hagadol, we kind of want to know what it is. And it's a Shabbos when there's this great miracle, but we had a lot of miracles in history, and we continue to have miracles. So it's called Shabbos hagadol because of the great miracle, but why is it the great miracle? You know, there are so many things that happen on different Shabbos, and why aren't they called Shabbos hagadol? And again, what is it for me? So just a tiny background. The whole content of the month of Nisan, and we're learning the Seichel Shabbos hagadol Tafshin and Aleph, the whole content of the month of Nisan, it is the month of Geula. And it's called it because it's the time of Pesach, Zman Cheresein is the time of freedom. And this whole process of coming out from Galus and on a personal level from where we're stuck to where we're free through Pesach, it specifically actually on some level starts on Shabbos hagadol, and it's especially emphasized in the Shabbos before Pesach. Because Nisan is all about Nes, miracle, but it has two nuns, Nisei Nisim. We're talking about the miracles that Hashem made for us when He took us out of Mitzrayim, which means He showed His incredible miraculous powers in this month, and He does every single year. And He does them to us personally as well. So when it comes to Nisei Nisim, not just miracles, but miracles above miracles, which are we'll see in a second what means miracles above miracles. Somehow, it's all centered around and related to the Shabbos before Pesach. Shabbos hagadol. Because of this great miracle. What was the miracle? What was the Nes Gadol that made this Shabbos into Shabbos hagadol? And the Nes Gadol was and is Lamaka Mitzrayim Bivchareihem. The evil destroyed itself from within. It did not have to be destroyed. The bad guys, to say it in simple terms, the bad guys weren't destroyed by the good guys, but rather the bad guys destroyed themselves. Now that's really strange. Bad guys want to win. We see today, we're in this war in Iran, eradicating Amalek once and for all. Amalek has spent all of history wanting to win against us. Amalek has his battle against Hashem, he has his battle against Mashiach, he has his battle against the Yidden, all that stuff. And he's been very determined to win. That's in his DNA. Amalek wants to win against all goodness. So you could say, well, we'll fight harder, and we can be bigger, and we can be more powerful, and have better weapons, and we'll destroy him. But it's a good miracle. It's an amazing miracle. But the bigger miracle, that's a nes. So the Shabbos of the nes, the Shabbos of the miracle. But the nes gadol is that Amalek destroys himself from within himself. He implodes. The evil implodes from the inside out. You know, they say about September 11th that it wasn't as innocent as it looked, as horrific as it was, that it was an inside job, and that anybody who knows physics and engineering and all of that knows that there were explosions from inside the building. It wasn't just planes hitting the building. You understand what a plane hitting the building can do, even at a certain angle. It was an explosion from within. Who did it? Whatever. That one you'll figure out on your own. But that idea of the explosion from the inside out. Now, so let's just switch for a second to the personal level. We would like to have an explosion from the inside out, but a good one. Would we not like, do we want, in this generation, when people tell us what to do, everybody says, please do me a favor, don't tell me what to do. Either people say it in a very angry way, or they say it in a passive aggressive way, or if you tell them what to do, they kind of fall asleep on you, or they start looking at their phone, or they suddenly get a phone call, or they become busy, or whatever. Nobody wants to be told what to do. Nobody wants you to come from the outside and fix them from the outside. It's all, in a way, an inside job. The stuff that we don't like about ourselves, the best way would be if it self-destructs from the inside out. And then we become a self-made person. We cleaned ourselves from the inside out. That's a nes gadol. That's the great miracle. And because of that nes gadol, it's such a great miracle that it makes the Shabbos, when it happens, called Shabbos hagadol. And that heralds the beginning of the Geula. That's when we start to come out of Mitzrayim, out of our limitations. As it says, the Shabbos hagadol haita atchalas haGeula v'nisim. On Shabbos hagadol was the beginning of the Geula and the miracles of coming out of Mitzrayim. And that's why we have a minhag to start to read the Haggadah, Avadim Hayinu at Mincha time on that Shabbos. So there's just two more short questions. Why Shabbos? It's not like, it was the 10th of Nisan. So why don't we celebrate the 10th of Nisan every year, just like Purim is always on the 14th, and Pesach is on the 14th, and Rosh Hashanah is on the 1st, and all of that. And yet this one is specifically about, it's always on Shabbos. Whatever day the first Shabbos, the Shabbos before Pesach, that's it. So, in order to understand that, we just need one little idea of what is Shabbos. Shabbos is a piece of eternity inserted into a temporary world. A piece of eternity. This is a world where everything falls apart. How long will your car last? Sometimes you see a 1954 Chevy that was probably revamped. Is probably only the shell and the whole motor inside is redone. Or 1954 Chevrolet, something like that. People pay millions of dollars for it. It's a relic. Nothing lasts forever. And yet, Geula lasts forever. There are certain energies that nothing in this world lasts forever. Who chopped down the cherry tree, right? Nothing lasts forever. But there are energies, there are things from outside of the world that do last forever. Because they're not part of the world. They're inserted into the world, but they're really not part of the world. And that is, of course, Hashem, God, Torah, and the Jewish people, Yidden, Am Yisrael Chai, and Mashiach, Moshe Rabbeinu. All of these are from outside of the world, from a place, and Shabbos, and we left out, and Shabbos. Shabbos is a piece of Yom Shekula Shabbos, Shabbos is a piece of a time of eternity. There will be eternity, even in the physical world. How it's going to work, what will last and what won't, we know the Yidden will last. The Yidden always will last. Am Yisrael Chai. And Torah will always last. And Hashem will always last. And truth, as long as it's the truth of Torah, will always be true. And this that Moshe Rabbeinu put his hands to, like the Mishkan, there forever. So Shabbos is the energy of eternity, inserted into a world, a temporary world. This Nes Gadol, this huge miracle that Hashem did, is way beyond the miracles that Hashem does for us, in a way. Way beyond kind of the miracles all kinds of miracles that Hashem does. The miracle of L'mak Mitzrayim b'Yitzchorehem, that the first fruit, the Becharim of the Mitzrim, of the bad guys, they destroy themselves. For Hashem to enable, to activate such a miracle requires a much higher aspect of himself. A much higher aspect of himself. Let's just say it in the language of the Sikha. When there's a kapitel, Tefillah L'Moshe Ish Elokim, it's talking about there's Moshe Rabbeinu, he has an aspect in the world, he's Moshe Rabbeinu above the world. He brings Hashem into the world, but from a part of Hashem that's outside of the world. And then there's a third one, and that is the Birur of the lowest world. For Hashem to purify the lowest world, that the strength of the umazeh, of the darkness, of the klipa, the Bacharim of Mitzrayim, for them to destroy Mitzrayim, that is their home. They destroy their own home. It was a place full of Avodah Zarah. That is the Birur of the Kuf. That is the letter that goes below the line. It's the place of Klipa. It is done through a revelation of Hashem that's very high. Higher than the miracles that Hashem did for us, and higher than the miracles that Hashem does. The miracle of enabling them to destroy themselves comes from a very, very, very high place in Hashem, and a very, very eternal place. And that's the Nes Gadol. The fact that the evil implodes from within, and the fact that it's all done, by the way, just like the Geula, as being brought out in the Sikha. The Geula specifically comes through Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu is eternal. Everything that Moshe Rabbeinu gives us, the Torah, and everything that he built and puts his hands to are eternal, the Mishkan. Everything about Moshe is eternal. Moshe is Gael Rishon, Gael Achron. Moshe has the ability, Moshe Rabbeinu has the ability to draw down Hashem's permanence out of limitation kayach into this temporary world where there are all those limitations, and destroy everything that stands in the way. And Moshe Rabbeinu is an integral part of all these huge miracles that are happening now in the world. What we saw, and we keep saying it, what we saw on Parshas Zachar, that the bad guys all got together in one place. They should have been in their hiding places. They should have been in their bunkers to protect themselves on Parshas Zachar. And they made a decision, unconsciously, obviously, to destroy themselves. They didn't say, hey, let's get together, all 40 of us, so they can blow them all up in one shot. They did not say that. But on some unconscious level, that's what they did. They made it easy for themselves to be destroyed. They are the Bechirim of Mitzrayim today, were those guys who were eliminated on Parshas Zachar this year. That's the Bechirim of Mitzrayim. And by getting together and being chutzpahdik and careless, beyond anything rational or reasonable for themselves, that ended up in their destruction. And their destruction really became the beginning of a domino effect of the whole thing, all the dominoes falling, all of evil collapsing piece by piece by piece by piece, which we're in the middle of now. So to end off, we hope we will see, we expect that we're going to see something magnificent happening on Shabbos hagadol this year. But Shabbos hagadol, in a way, already began quite a few weeks ago, and most especially on Shabbos, Parshas Zachor. So this year, Shabbos hagadol has been many weeks. It's a very big Shabbos hagadol. And the Nes hagadol is what we said. And so we look forward to the incredible miracle we're going to see on Shabbos hagadol, and to the incredible miracles we will see in ourselves, because we're being simultaneously given the ability to watch the things that are not our best self. Everybody has parts of themselves that is not their best self and not reflecting their best self. And we now have the ability to see that self-destruct from the inside out. With our dedication to Kedusha, to going full speed ahead, to the building of the third Beis Hamikdash, which is the antithesis of all the bad guys. And they even say it themselves. But what were they screaming on October 7th? Yamah Shemam, they were screaming Al-Aqsa. They say themselves, the Beis Hamikdash is the thing, the third Beis Hamikdash, that bothers them the most. And therefore we know that ultimately the third Beis Hamikdash will destroy them from the inside out, and will destroy all the negative things, all the things that need a little shining up inside of us. It'll all implode from within. And we'll find ourselves in the Beis Hamikdash Shlishi. May it be this Shabbos hagadol. Good Shabbos to everyone.